Hello guys, welcome to my channel, and today I'm here to talk about Horimiya episode number 12. And I went to this episode thinking this was the last one, so I was a little bit disappointed by the end, but then I searched and I got to know there are 13 episodes instead of 12. So then for that the episode was fine, but if I went into the expectations thinking that this is the last episode, so I was kind of disappointed at the end. Not just the ending, but when the episode ended I was like, okay, it was kind of lackluster for the final episode, but since it's not, it's okay. Let's talk about the episode. So the comedy, first of all, in this episode was great. Like, it was mostly in the first half, and it was just some of the best from Horimiya, and I loved it. There was one scene of Toru and the green hair guy whose name I forgot, I'm sorry, and the Sengoku. They were all like chatting, and Toru was talking about Ishikawa. And that scene was hilarious. Like, that everything went over that green haired guy's dude. Like, everything just went over his head, and that was funny. And there was one more scene where Sengoku just didn't want to go to Remi's house because of the insects, and what's his name, Toru and the other guy just grabbed him, and they're like, Miyamura, punch him, let's go, he made Remi cry, let's punch him. And Miyamura was also ready to do it, so that was also really funny to see. And the rest of the episode, we see some things, like we see a lot of things. Like, it was not like, okay, this was one part, and like, you know, in most of the episodes they're like one segment focused on one or two characters and the other one is then focused on the other characters, like some other two characters, right? That's how it is. But this time we saw almost everyone. We saw Toru in his house, and we saw his brother, we saw Yanagi and Ishikawa's sister. That was just not expected. And we saw Hori and Miyamura, we saw Shindo, we saw Sengoku and Sakura. Like, we saw a lot of people in this episode, and that's why it kind of felt like a final episode too, but it was still lackluster if it would have been the final episode. And I don't know, I just have, you know, the final episode always has to be like something big and better than the rest of the one. So I hope the next episode does not disappoint. But let's talk about this one. So Toru and Yoshikawa, they are getting more and more closer, and the thing is, Toru doesn't know that Yoshikawa likes him, and Yoshikawa doesn't know that Toru likes her, and they both but end up liking each other. And Toru's thing is, he's fine with the way things are, because, you know, it's scary. What if, because he doesn't know that, you know, Yoshikawa likes him, so he's like, if I confess, like, he didn't say any of these things, but you can kind of understand what Toru's mindset is. If I confess, I might get declined, things might get a bit awkward, or if let's say we start dating, things might change, you know. And he's like, you know what, I am fine, like, I'm fine with what the things right now are. I'm happy with this. So yeah, for now it seems like they're not doing anything, they're just friends for now. And yeah, that was for Toru. And then we see there was one dialogue by Sengoku, which was like, Sengoku, you are a jerk for saying that to Sakura. They were in the park, and she was convincing him, you know what, go to Remi's house, it's okay, you have to meet at 7. And he's like, you spend your Christmas alone, right? Like, Sengoku, don't say that. No, Sengoku, please, those things hurt. Sengoku, don't. Like, that was not good by Sengoku, but he said it. Of course, he didn't mean any harm by it, he was just asking it. But yeah, those things hurt. But she said, like, she's Buddhist, so I maybe they don't celebrate Christmas, I guess. Yeah, of course, she's not Christian, so yeah, what am I even thinking? Yeah, they don't celebrate Christmas, so yeah, she's always alone. But still, you don't say stuff like that, Sengoku. And now let's move on to the main. Before that, sorry, just one more thing. We see Shindo for a bit, and his girlfriend was saying that I'll stay back 1 year. As we know, like, Shindo, he, for some reason, 1 year he had to repeat. And he was like, at first he was like, it's not gonna be possible, and then he said that just give me 1 year. So I really don't actually understand what's going on there. If anyone could explain in the comments, then please just comment it. But I was not able to understand what exactly was going on. And now let's move to the final part, that is Hori and Miyamura. I've always said that Miyamura becoming a part of Hori's family is just so cool to see, and this episode was also like a great depiction of it. Everybody wants Miyamura on Christmas. Like even Hori wants him, of course, but she's fine with Miyamura not being here. But her family isn't. Like her brother Sota, he wants Miyamura to be there. Kyosuke wants Miyamura. Her mom wants Miyamura to be there, and it's just so cool seeing him becoming a part of that family already. As we know, he said he like proposed early. You know what? Let's get married. Of course, they were not going to get married right now, but in the future, he just already was like, you know what? We're gonna get married. Of course, that was a bit cheesy. But since their relationship is just so pure, I just let it pass. It's not a big deal. It's fine, and it works between their dynamic. And Miyamura, you're already kind of married to Ori because you're already part of her family. So yeah, it's not a far-fetched thing to think you guys are gonna get married. So yeah, and like it was fun to see. Like, Kyosuke, I wish we could see more, but it was still fun to see him, even just for a little bit. And when Hori was just going to, go with Miyamura to his house, just drop him off, we see a scene, Kyosuke and Sota, they were just grabbing their slippers or shoes. They were like, you know what, we are gonna go to. But Hori, of course, he just stopped them. But that was also funny. And one of the biggest points for Hori was that they are now graduating, and she was worried that things might be different. And of course, like after school, high school, you go to college, people might do different college and your life might change because, it is. If you're school friends and you go to different college, you take different paths, it changes everything. And so she was worried, but of course, she doesn't need to worry. And as I said, like growing up is scary. All right. I don't have much to say about the episode, so I'll just go on here and talk about this. Growing up is scary. Like school is some of the easiest things in your life because it's just there is a structure. You're like, okay, we're gonna pass this year, next year, and when school is over, you think, you know what, that's great, now we are out of school. But school is the best part because you don't need to worry. You don't have any worries at that point. You just go to school, come, and you just look forward to the next year and the next year. But after that, since like there's a structure, like everybody goes to the next year and next year, but after school, people choose to go different ways. Some might not go to college, some might go to college, but different colleges. And if in different colleges in different areas of studies, things get really different, and you are worried what if you make the wrong choice or something. And it is scary. It is really scary. Growing up is scary. If you are like right now in school, this is going to be some of your easiest and best part of your life. Just you're not going to realize it at that point. Nobody does, but once it's over, you're gonna definitely realize it. Growing up is not as fun as you might think, just to be clear. So be ready for that. And that's it for the episode. Decent episode. As I said, I went into expectations thinking this is the final one, so that kind of made me feel a little bit lackluster, the episode. But since we have another episode next week, I'm really looking forward to that. So that was it for episode number 12. Let me know what did you guys feel about it in the comments below. I will be here for episode number 13 next week. So till then, have a great time. I'll meet you in the next one.